In this video, I'm going to show you two different ways to draw a self-portrait. One is going to be a slightly more simple version, and one will be a little bit more complicated. We're going to also focus on being positive about ourselves in this drawing. So start with an oval. I'm drawing so lightly that if I make a mistake, I can erase it easily. Your nose goes right in the middle of that oval. Your nose is actually in the middle of your head, right? So at the same level of your nose, that's where your ear is going to go. You can draw a half circle for your ear, or you can be a little bit more complicated, a little bit more realistic, and draw the ear shape. Start with some curves for the top of your eye, then a U shape for the pupil or circle, and then another curve at the bottom. Take that oval and change the shape of that chin a little bit to make it more realistic, slightly pointed, or maybe you have a really strong jaw, maybe it's a little bit more square. So depending on what you look like. Pay attention to what your hair looks like, the texture of your hair. Is it straight? Is it curly? Once you feel pretty good about the basics of your face, you can start outlining and then adding those details. So instead of drawing every single tooth in my mouth, I just kind of drew a straight line across to show that I was smiling. Instead of drawing all the details, I kind of simplified it too, so that it wasn't too much to draw with that Sharpie. Here's the positivity part. I'm going in and I'm adding a bunch of positive words about myself. Things that other people have said about me, maybe things that I wish people would say, or things that I believe about myself, only positive things. Something about drawing yourself and really focusing on not how nice you look, but how you are on the inside, your personality, your strengths, and your the good things about yourself, and what makes you a good citizen, what makes you a good person, good friend. That's the kind of stuff you want to focus on for this drawing. Once you have all of your words drawn out, you can go in and erase those pencil marks. Here I am come into frame a little bit. It's made me laugh when I saw this later. So on the background now, I'm writing the words I love myself, and I'm also writing I love others. So it's a little reminder to myself that I want to live a life of love, loving myself, loving others. Here's a little bit more complicated version. We're going to use what's called a grid to make the drawing more realistic than the other version. Okay, so I measured in my square photo in half, and I drew lines to divide it in half, top to bottom and side to side. My square paper I am also dividing in half. So it's a 9-inch paper, so I measured 4.5 inches. Depends on what size paper you're using. Okay, so the squares on the grid that I made, it helps me to make sure that the shapes I'm drawing are accurate to the photograph. If you're using a mirror instead of a photograph, then the grid's not really going to help you as much. But either way, you really just want to look and really compare what you see with what you're drawing. Try not to draw out of your imagination. This is an observational drawing. You're drawing something you're seeing. So really focus on what you really look like, not what you think you look like or what you hope you look like. And part of really staring at yourself as you're drawing, it kind of makes you more familiar with yourself as a person, and it makes you think of yourself not just as yourself, but as a person, a human, right? So I'm doing the words on this one a little differently. I'm taking the big word and I'm drawing it again several times smaller just to fill space. You might be someone who's really good at drawing different fonts and different types of words and letters, so maybe you want to really get fancy with that kind of writing. So have fun with it, and remember, you are special, you are one of a kind, and there will never be another person just like you. So focus on all the positive things about yourself as you're drawing, and have fun.